Give thanks for our journey, however painful it has been. It has brought us to this moment. Everything that has happened has shaped us to be who we are today. As I look around the room, I see my reflection. And I know there are stories in this room that I will probably never hear. But I want to acknowledge your journey. I particularly want to acknowledge the children of the sister whose name we all know now, for being brave enough to be here. Because sometimes when we have had an experience, we don't want the world to know. We don't want the world to know because we take on the responsibility for something that we're not responsible for. So we could be in a relationship, things are not going quite right, but we don't want people to know because we think it's a reflection on us. I give thanks to my sister and my sisters and my nieces and all the sister soldiers and brother soldiers who have been supporting this. I want to acknowledge the investigator, brother, minister, young man who's left the room. Where is he? I'm in love with this man. I have to tell you, I'm in love with his brother too.
Right over him.
And they both know. And their wives know. So it's not a secret.
But does your husband know?
I'm in love with that man too.
I'll call you back.
Give thanks. So when I became aware of this recent incident, because this is not the first one, and the way things are going, it will not be the last one. Unless we change something, unless we're prepared to have a difficult conversation, to be uncomfortable. And I want to salute every one of us who made a contribution, even if it wasn't money, your clapping, your presence, your energy, all helps to build up this resource. And this is a resource for us. I'm saying us because the sister who has last night been in a situation where she was not comfortable and didn't know what was going to happen in the next 5 minutes is us.
Yes, yes.
The sister who is not too keen to return to the place where she resides is us. It's us. And if it isn't us in this very moment and on this very day, it has been us. On some part of our journey, it has been us. Every one of us has known that kind of an experience. Either in this earth experience or in an ancestral experience. We know that experience. We know that we don't want it to happen again. But for some of us, we know that we're going right back into a situation where it could happen again. And when it happens, it doesn't just happen to us. It happens to our children.
Yes, sir.
It happens to our sister friends. It actually happens to some of our brother friends who sees the thing happening and wants to intervene, and we say don't. Because for some of us, we know that the moment we declare we're going to leave, our danger is heightened.
Absolutely.
The minute you make the decision and then articulate that you're going to leave, the energy changes. Anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Everybody know what you're talking about.
Anybody ever tasted their own tears?
Yes. Yes.
Anybody ever found that they can't do right for doing wrong, and they can't do wrong for doing right? that the person that they were when they met the person that they're with somehow isn't okay to be anymore. You know, like when you first met, first came into the situation, you were this kind of person, and that's what seemed to be the thing. And then all of a sudden being this kind of person was a problem. Okay, so I wanna do something that's maybe not so typical. Because I think sometimes, you know, we just need to get naked in front of each other. Don't get scared, people. Because I haven't lost my mind. A sister called Veronica Mason has just pledged £200. Can we applaud her, please? Give thanks. Please join me, sister. I understand you are in the world of the academy as well.
Yes.
Oh boy, never mind. Just to touch a sister who is stepping forward and making a contribution, I wanted to just touch you. Give thanks. I'm going to, you can take a seat. I'm going to, and this is why I needed to sit on a table, because if I sit on a chair, you wouldn't be able to see what it is I'm doing, which I'm just taking off my shoes. The reason why I'm doing this is because sometimes when we're introduced as doctor this and minister that and, you know, ever so wonderful that. And when it all boils down to it, we're women. We're sisters. We need a sister space where all of those titles just fall away.
Yes, ma'am.
Where all of those positions and cars. Can somebody take my coat, please? Just fall away. And we just look at each other as we are. One of the things that I have said to sisters when I've done workshops sometimes is that, you know, sometimes brothers know more about what we look like than we do. Just let that sit with you for a while. There are parts of our being and our body and our behavior that brothers know more about than we know about our own self. Do you get that? Now, for me, that's an interesting thing. Because if I can't be naked in front of my own self, if I can't face my own reality and taste my own tears and know that something's got to change, then this is a very sad thing. If I can't look at myself without makeup on, if I can't see myself without all of my accoutrements, this is a very sad thing. Because the people in our life are seeing us like that. If I can't see myself from the back, if I can't see myself from the back and feel confident about it, or from the side, it's a very sad thing. If I can't know that I can turn my back and not expect a blow to my head, that's a very sad thing. Now, you know, some of us can't do this. Some of us can't be in a space with the one that we're supposed to love and do this. Simple thing. Can't do this without having to do that all the time. what I'm saying?
Yes.
If we think for a moment that the children in our lives are not seeing this, then this is a serious, serious day. There is no separation between the woman who is going through this now and those of us who think it'll never happen to us. There is no separation. I have been in situations sometimes where I hear sisters talking about a sister that something's happened to. Sometimes the sister is in earshot. You know, when we do that, it's actually another wound for the sister. It means that the sister is not safe.
Sorry, if you know your car is out, I'm so sorry, if your car is out there, it's about to be ticketed. So if you know that you haven't parked correctly, best you move your car.
Is everybody's car safe? Okay, let's give thanks. The point that I'm trying to make here is that we are each other. We are each other. So this sister space is a sacred space. This sister space is not just a building, and this sister space is not just a place where we should come to today and pledge money today. This is a space that we need to be keeping an eye on, listening out for, protecting, resourcing. That doesn't necessarily mean money. It might mean people. It might mean time. It might mean information. Because some of us are working in places where we got the inside scoop on stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know about anyone else here, but I'm about tired of working on a plantation. I work on a plantation, and I tell them. And I get information. So I'm charging us all with taking care of this place and ensuring that there is no separation between someone who's coming here for sanctuary and someone who's coming here to support the place. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm asking that when we come here, that metaphorically speaking, we remove our shoes and our egos and our airs and our graces and our positions. Remove your bra and your panties, metaphorically speaking. When you come into the space, you become naked in the space.
Absolutely.
Because you don't know what has led the sister to come to the space. She shouldn't have to say, well, this happened, and then that happened, and then you know what, when I thought, and then...
That's right.
As soon as you see a sister in the space,
Absolutely. There it is.
you recognize her divinity. You recognize her royalty. You recognize that she is you at a different time and in a different place. And there, but for the grace of God, she is you. I'm saying this because I have been into sister spaces, not quite like this. They're set up by the council and other agencies. And sometimes the women don't look anything like us. They don't know our story. They have no idea about Nation of Islam, Rastafari, anything. And they will make judgments because they don't have what it is we have. when I come before you, I am prepared to take off my bra and my panties and my title and my shoes and my airs and my graces. I am prepared to do that. I am prepared to remember through you what it was like to be in a time and place where I didn't feel like I could be myself. I was loved for being myself. When I continued to be myself, it became a problem. Then I realized that being myself wasn't pleasing. So I didn't want to be myself. Now, if you don't want to be yourself, who in the name of all that is good are you supposed to be? So when you lose yourself because you give yourself, you need a place to go where you can find yourself. There is no separation. There is no judgment. Let there be no judgment. We live in small towns. Whoever it is that's terrorizing your sister might at some point have been terrorizing you. Let there be no judgment. The person who's terrorizing the sister may in your judgment not have walked the road that you would have walked. But let there be no judgment. Because every one of us in here, if we are honest and naked, we will know there are things that we perhaps would not do again. But people don't know. It wasn't a Kodak moment. You know what I mean by a Kodak moment? I have sister friends who have been in situations and they have got so incensed and fed up that they have reacted. The police have been called. They have appeared to be the perpetrator and it has changed their life forever. Because they're sectioned, they're arrested, they're injected. Once we get injected with our melanin, we are not the same again. I'm saying this because I'm challenging us. I'm charging us with doing more than just coming into this space and supporting it financially. I'm challenging us to come back again. And when you come back, you don't come to hang out. We're not coming to hang out. We're coming as sisters in service. To other people, it may look like we're hanging out, but we're actually here in service. Because there needs to be a place that you go until you stop going back to the place that you've been. When the nights are long, when the nights are really long, and to breathe could cost you your life, you need a place to go so you can get clear about how you're going to stop going back to that place. Because none of us need to go back to that place. I don't want to suggest for a minute that it's going to be easy. Okay? Because I can come up in here, take off my shoes, and sit up here like I don't know what it is. I'm not ashamed to say I know what it is. I know what it is. To see somebody that you think loves you and you think you love them misunderstand the situation. The question is, what do you do? What do you do? You need a sister space to have that conversation. You need a safe place where you can speak and know that you're not going to hear what it was you said outside. When you say what you have to say in here, it is not permission for you to take that outside. There is nobody on the planet that needs to hear what you heard in here, unless there's something wrong with you and you need to be seen by speaking about somebody else. Then you need a sister space. You understand what I'm saying? When we recognize that we are each other, we will know the importance of sacredness and of being in service to each other. Now, you don't have to put your hands up. You don't have to put your hands up. But I'm asking you, how many of you are prepared to take your shoes off, to take your bra, your panties off, to taste your tears, to taste your tears because you hear about somebody else's pain? Because if there's no separation, then when I hear that something happened to my sister, I'm supposed to feel it. That's how we are. I'm supposed to feel what's happening. When you're successful, I'm supposed to feel that. Our children are supposed to see us being pleased when we're successful. They're supposed to see us being displeased when someone's hurt. We're supposed to let them see that. If we encourage each other not to say anything, then we're either helping or we're harming. We're either helping or we're harming.